I was looking for a second monitor for my laptop when I'm traveling, mostly for productivity reasons, so I can run several apps side by side. I had several criteria: bright screen, 4K resolution, and overall just a good quality display. So I picked up this 15.6-inch 4K monitor made by UPERFECT. And it fits the bill almost perfectly. Basically ticks most of the boxes for the price. Now you can plug pretty much any device into this, whether it's a laptop, an Xbox, a PlayStation, or an Amazon Fire Stick if you want to just watch movies. Just a side note, this video is not sponsored by UPERFECT. So what do we have here? It's a 4K 60Hz capable 15.6-inch monitor with 99% sRGB coverage. You may have heard about Adobe RGB at some point, but the thing is, sRGB is the default color space on most devices that you're ever likely to encounter. The monitor has 300 nits of brightness, which is decent. If you look at the high-end laptops like a MacBook Pro or a Dell XPS, they have anywhere from 380 to 500 nits. So I expect this monitor to do very well in comparison, especially since my primary use for this monitor is indoors, and I would venture a guess so is yours. The screen is an IPS HDR panel with a 178-degree viewing angle, enclosed in a fully aluminum body with a contrast ratio of 1000 to 1. In case you didn't know, HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. It basically gives you a wider range of colors and overall just a much punchier image. Of course, your video source has to support it. With IPS or in-plane switching, you get a much better viewing angle versus non-IPS panel, 178 degrees for this particular unit, as I mentioned earlier, and you also get better color accuracy and consistency. Now, as far as the resolution, you might argue that you don't need 4K in such a small form factor, but I just want to have this option as my eyesight has not deteriorated enough to where I couldn't go up to at least 1440p. Also I think the overall picture quality is just higher. These monitors are available in 1080p as well, if your heart so desires. UPERFECT also states in the specs that they have low blue light anti-flicker technology, which is supposed to make it easy on the eyes. I haven't come across this much before, so I don't really know how impactful this is in the real world. If you have, let me know in the comments below. Now, if you're into gaming, there are a few things that are probably of interest to you. This monitor supports AMD Free-sync, which synchronizes the refresh rate of your graphics card with the monitor, so you don't have that awful image tearing. The refresh rate is just 3 milliseconds, which I think is pretty decent for a portable monitor. Now about the audio. The monitor does have two 2-watt speakers, but the sound quality is just okay. There's an audio stereo output port, so you could either plug in your headphones or external speakers. Another interesting thing about this monitor is that it has these VESA mounting holes, so you can mount it on a wall or whatever. Now let's look at all of the ports. It has a standard HDMI port, a mini display port, 2 USB Type-C ports. One of them has power delivery, so you can transmit video, audio, and power over the same cable. Also, it supports Thunderbolt 3 standard, and here's a headphone speaker jack. One thing I want to mention is that you need to supply at least 45 watts of power to the monitor to be able to display 4K at 60 Hz. Let's look at the other side. Here we have a micro USB port with OTG support, so you can connect a mouse and a keyboard if you so desire. Now, what about all of these mini silver buttons? You can't tell offhand what they do without looking at the back of the monitor. And the issue is the back is usually covered by the case. The first button is power, the next two below are supposed to be used for volume and brightness control. I still haven't figured out how to adjust the volume without going into a menu. I can only adjust the brightness with these buttons, looks like. So the menu button is this next one right here, and you can see the exit button as well. Now, as far as the biggest cons, my biggest issue with this monitor is actually its weight. It is roughly 2 pounds. It's not horrible by any means, but in the world of 2-pound laptops, it seems like a pound would be more appropriate, and this particular model doesn't even have a battery. And I think the one that has a battery weighs over 5 pounds. Anyway, it's not necessarily a deal breaker, at least not for me. Now let me run through what you get in the box real quick. The case that I already have on the monitor, which you can also use as a stand, one HDMI cord, two USB Type-C cords, a 45-watt power adapter, and a manual. And that's pretty much it. Now, as far as pricing, you can expect to pay anywhere from $200 to $300 for this model. It really depends on where you buy it from. Also, picking up a refurbished unit would save you some money as well. And on top of this, there are several manufacturers to choose from. You don't necessarily have to go with UPERFECT. Now, let's see how the picture looks on it. Okay, let me guys show you how videos play on this monitor. So what I have here is an Amazon Fire Stick. This is a 4K Fire Stick, by the way, and the way you know that it's 4K, it doesn't have the word Amazon on it, it just has the logo. So let's just turn on YouTube. So I think the colors look amazing. I mean, this is 4K, 60 frames per second HDR. All right, and that's it for this review. I would be curious what your experience is with portable monitors, and if you did buy one, which one did you get and what you're using it for. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. All right, see you guys soon, and of course, thank you for watching.